I said D6 Spanky. The letter D, the number 6, Spanky.
She's pretty cool too.
Alright.
But that was cool.
Hey, thanks for checking out channel D6 Spanky. Here I'm hanging out in the EMPI trailer at the Las Vegas Speedway on Halloween Day, 2021. I've got with me Cory Ryder. Remember, what's your job title?
Director of Marketing.
And Cameron, who is the driver for the...
Driver.
Driver. That's your last name too?
Yeah, no, Cameron Ferre, driver of the EMPI Top Fuel Dragster.
Nice. So I'm just going to ask some questions that I come up with while we're hanging out this weekend. They were gracious enough to invite me in. So, Cory, what do you think makes a good race team?
I mean, continuity is key, and then all of us having the same vision and mindset of really what our goals are and do an incremental plan. I mean, it's communication, great work ethic, and just a way to plan ahead of what we want to do and execute those plans.
How much work needs to be done to the car after each race?
A lot.
All of it.
Yeah, all of it.
All of
Basically, every single pass that these top fuel cars do, you service the engine, and they was like, "Oh, service the motor." No, like the motor comes completely apart. You'll check the crank. Try not to pull the crank out of the block, but besides that, everything else comes apart. Yep. New pistons, new rings, rods, spares, clutch pack. Yeah, service the blower, new oil, the whole deal, and yeah, a lot of work, and you got to do it in about 45 minutes. So no pressure.
First, you think take the most abuse in the front.
What was it? What part?
What part? Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. These are the calculated and planned bombs.
Yeah.
The thing is that not only do they have to work in harmony, they've got to sustain the durability of it through 4 seconds at 300 miles an hour, and not have a failure. I mean, everything has to work perfectly. One slight hang up, stuck valve, slip clutch can do something, and it just turns into a giant, big, expensive grenade.
How many runs do you get out of a block for this?
Lots. Probably, it depends. I mean, it could be one.
It could be.
Yeah, it could be half or one. But usually, I mean, a handful. Maybe, I'd say maybe 20 runs, and it'll service the block, and then it'll come out. And you cycle. A lot of this stuff is cycled, so you'll make a certain amount of runs, take it out, and we'll check it, clearance it, and all that stuff, and then it'll be able to go back in.
Well, how many runs do you do in a weekend, like a 3-day weekend like this?
There's 3 qualifying sessions, and then 4, so hopefully 7 rounds.
You want to go a few rounds.
Yes, because it takes 4 rounds to win the whole race on Sunday, but you also have to qualify, and there's 3 shots of qualifying.
Okay, and then, so how much does that total up for cost for a weekend?
I mean, factor in it's about, if nothing breaks, it's about $10,000 a run.
Yeah, these things, I mean, they run on dollars. They run on sponsorship money. They run on marketing partnerships. To put this stuff out and in front of people, and really, these are still relatively expensive to what the cost of a NASCAR would be to run like that. I mean, these private teams, like we're a privately held team. I mean, this is owned by one family, and they're really good at what they do. So we run on a budget. We don't go out and light the world on fire. We're very consistent, like what you saw in qualifying this weekend. We did 3 passes all within a couple of hundredths of a second, which is great. And that's what we're here to do. We're hoping to get lucky on a Sunday.
That's right.
Do you have any concerns about electric cars being pushed by the government and the future of nitro racing?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we deal with it already. I mean, we live in California, so we have warning stickers on everything. I love advancement. I love technology, right? I get it. There's something about the smell and the burnout and the noise and the vibrations of all that stuff. But at the same time, like, we want to do these. We know it's going to be a way of the future, right? It is what it is. But when we are already having rolling blackouts due to no power supply, how can we not? How can we talk about using electrical?
It's the excitement too. I mean, you come out here and seeing what's happening. If these were electric cars, you just fire up your generator and charge the battery, right? So that wouldn't be as fun. So I mean, the cool factor, the wow factor, and all the fun part of it, I mean, I think is the engine. So I mean, hopefully it'll be around for at least my lifetime.
So if I was looking for a car, how much miles per gallon does your car get?
It's more like gallons per mile.
Yeah. So, well, to put it in perspective, we go 1,000 feet in one run. We use about 18 gallons.
Oh, wow.
So Yeah, and nitro is not cheap. It's about $1,800 for a barrel of nitro. So, I mean, the barrel of nitro is like maybe 50 gallons, 48-ish. So, yeah, do the math on that one.
All right, what does it take to get a good start in a race?
Just good reaction time. I mean, it's the biggest thing. As a racer, I've been racing for 25 years now. So, I mean, it's repetition. It's getting a good routine, staying focused, and just, I call it getting in the zone, right? Because that's my office. The seat and the steering wheel is my office, and that's where I feel most comfortable. At the racetrack, and in my world, and I just get in there and do my thing. And the biggest thing is key repetition every time. When something goes awry, it's kind of when you're like, oh, it flusters the driver sometimes. But keeping everything consistent and the same is what you want.
Cory, in racing, what's a Christmas tree? Explain that to people.
Well, a Christmas tree, it's the starting grid, right? It's like your stoplight at the red light. You have your staging beams where
Makes everything equal.
Exactly. Just it's an equal level of, instead of arm dropping where one drops a little quicker than the other one, it's exactly timed, computer ran and done, and gives you your yellows and your greens, and everybody leaves on at one time. And then you'll watch the car stage so you know when your both are ready, and then you're going to know that they're randomly going to drop that timing frame within a few seconds.
So Cameron, how often do you practice with your Christmas tree?
I actually have a full-size Christmas tree at my house.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, there's actually one sitting right there on that table. So all drivers practice their reaction times and things like that. The hardest part of practicing your reaction time is simulating actually being in a top fuel dragster, because there's a lot of different elements and things that you can't really simulate until you're actually doing it.
What are some of the perks that come with being the driver?
You get to have all the fun, right? I mean, I enjoy the process. I've been a crew guy, but I've always wanted to be a driver, and I've kind of always been a driver in a way. It's just what I've set my mind to, and I don't want to stop until I'm full-fledged doing this professionally and not have another job at home. So yeah. All right.
How did you get your start?
Well, I got my start in drag racing. My family, I lived in Huntington Beach, California my whole life, and so I've been like the surfer skater kind of vibe. I grew up at the beach and stuff like that, and my family's had body shops and businesses and stuff like that. So we were into cars, but never like racing cars. So I did the BMX racing thing and motocross, and just kind of kept getting hurt and stuff. And my dad had painted a helmet for a driver when I was a kid, and he took me to the drag races at Pomona when I was 8 years old, and he took me there. I was like blown away of what was happening. I mean, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life, and I was just like, that day that's what I'm going to do with my life. And then we walked down the bleachers, and I saw a junior dragster on display, which was it's for kids ages 8 to 18 to get going in this. And I'm like, Dad, I got to have one of these. And he's like, well, son, like, we're not really like the racing family. We don't come from this stuff. That's a little hard not to crack. And he said, if you want to do it, you got to figure it out yourself. So I did, and I started a career in acting, and I was an actor for 10 years, and I was fortunate enough to get some roles that gave me a little bit of financial independence, and bought my own race cars and raced myself for a very long time, and then has put me in the positions to continue and race.
Okay, wait, hold on. So you're an actor. Have you been in anything that I've seen?
The biggest thing I was in was Jack Frost with Michael Keaton. It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah. I haven't seen them forever, but yeah.
Please watch it.
Oh my gosh, I gotta go home and watch it
Actually,
now.
you should buy it.
Yeah.
And then
and then watch it.
Yeah.
I love
Mailbox
Michael
money.
Keaton.
Yeah.
Thanks for checking out D6 Spanky. Make sure you check out d6spanky.com for all your D6 Spanky related news. Check me out on Instagram and TikTok at D6 Spanky. See ya.
See ya.
Take care.